My girlfriend of 9 months says she's getting divorced, but wants to take her ex-husband to her work Christmas party to keep up appearances, and says I'm overreacting for calling her out. I've been with my girlfriend for 9 months. She is 44 and I am 33. When we met, she was open about the fact that she had fully separated from her ex and that they would be starting official divorce proceedings. Those started around 1 month ago, and it's basically in the early stages. Yesterday, we were talking about work Christmas parties, and she told me her workplace are currently running a poll where the options were go alone, go with your partner, or say you're not going. When I asked what she was thinking of doing, she said she needed to talk to her ex-husband about it because she was going to take him if that option won, because she didn't want to go and sit alone while everyone else was there with their spouses. Obviously, I reacted pretty badly to this. She said she couldn't bring me because nobody there knew about me. She had started her job about 3 months before we met, and everyone there was basically under the impression that she was still married, as that's how things had been when she joined, and she didn't like lots of people knowing her business, separating, divorce, etc. So she just went along with it. She said that bringing me would therefore be weird, and she temporarily wanted everything to still look normal by bringing him. I questioned why she would need to go and pretend to essentially strangers. She could easily just go on her own instead, and she told me I didn't understand how difficult it was for her. She told me I was making it all about me by asking to be prioritized. In my eyes, it was just consideration, that I was acting irrational and being jealous, and that she didn't have to run any of her decisions by me. She then started crying, hung up on me, and texted me to say she wanted space for a few hours, but she hasn't been in touch since, and that was 24 hours ago. I haven't reached out because I feel I haven't done anything wrong. I feel really horrible about her wanting to take him along because it feels like she has not considered my feelings about it. We didn't have a conversation about it. She just told me. And so, to me, it feels a little disrespectful to me and our relationship. I know we've not been together long, either, so maybe I have no right to be involved in her decisions. But I would expect to at least have a conversation about that because that decision does directly affect us. I also don't understand why she needs to go and pretend to people she doesn't really know and why she wouldn't have just been able to take that opportunity to explain, but I don't know if I'm just being selfish like she said. Am I the asshole? I've never been married, so I don't know if I have just majorly downplayed everything and been inconsiderate. Honestly, appreciate everyone's advice and opinions. Best comments. My advice is Ron. She is not over her soon-to-be ex-husband, or maybe he is not as soon-to-be ex-husband as you think. All she is worried about is how she looks to others. Partners in relationships consider each other's feelings. From the sound of it, she doesn't really care about you. You are her dirty little secret. The fact that her divorce didn't start until 8 months after you started a relationship is proof. From outside looking, she was trying to have you and her ex-husband at the same time, or holding on to her ex-husband just in case it didn't work out with you. If your gut is telling you to cut all contact and that what is going on is wrong, please listen to it. The divorce only started 1 month ago. They have been separated for 9 months. In truth, I would bet that the divorce process hasn't even begun yet. OP is being strung along, the same as the ex-husband. $50, she's still banging her ex-husband. Obviously, they're going to go to the party together, so he'll pick her up or meet at his house. When they leave, they'll go back to one of their places and coitus will ensue. She's on a break with hubby and you're a side quest. Manage your expectations. Been there. My general advice is never get exclusive/serious with someone who is still in divorce proceedings or didn't even start it. If you can't resist the temptation to get intimate, keep it casual and be upfront about it. Speaking from experience, my advice for your specific situation is to run and block her out completely. Then, find a decent woman. Update number 1, 1 day later. Firstly, I want to thank everyone for their responses. I never expected to get so many, and I read all of them. Yeah, even the painful ones. There were some great pieces of advice, perspective, and wisdom, so I really appreciate everyone's comments. Second, there were a lot of repeating questions that I didn't answer in the post because it all moved way too quick. So I wanted to answer those now in case those commenters were still wondering. Number 1, who filed the divorce and are they really getting a divorce? She had always said that she had begun proceedings. Honestly, I don't know for definite that they are divorcing, but she did have a few meetings with a lawyer when I was with her, and she'd moved into her own place in March. So to me, all the signs pointed that way, but of course it may not have been the truth. Number 2. Why would her ex or not ex husband agree to go? This is a solid question, and if I'm honest from what she told me about him, I genuinely don't think he would have. One of the reasons she gave for their marriage collapsing was that he became more antisocial and introverted and stopped wanting to go anywhere and do anything with her. I think that's why it felt worse, because if she was telling the truth about him, she was willing to take someone who had previously on multiple occasions said he didn't want to go and do things. If I'm honest, I think that this is an example of her refusing to face reality and clinging onto her old identity. Thank you so much to the commenters who gave me this insight. She just thought he'd agree because previously he probably always begrudgingly has, and she hadn't appreciated or logically thought about the weight of what she would be asking. If it were me, I would have said no, probably like everyone else. So on to the update. Thanks to all the perspectives here, I text her to say that I hoped she was okay and that the space had given me time to reflect on the situation. I explained that I could see things from her perspective and what her intentions might have been, but that I was hurt that she hadn't felt she could communicate that with me first, as if she had the outcome might have been different and we could have worked something out. However, I felt her behavior in calling me selfish and the not running decisions by me was disrespectful and inconsiderate, and that was now my major problem in moving forward with the relationship. She replied to say that if I was going to just bring another source of pain and stress to her life, then I may as well go, because I was still making the whole thing about me and my feelings, not appreciating that she didn't fall apart while her life did. So she'd be taking more space until I decided what I wanted. Thanks to all of you, I realized how invalidating and, again, manipulative that was, so I told her we'd make the space permanent and wished her all the best. Her response was just a okay, and asking if she could still use my Netflix password, so I changed it. Then she texts again a little while later asking why I changed it, and if I put it back because it had locked her out of show she was watching. So I had a good laugh to myself about the irony of decision making without running it by her, and didn't respond. On to better things and a definite lesson learned for the future in seeing the red flags. Best comments. Honestly, really glad to see you split. Like there was just no good answer for what she was doing, and her reactions to you made it very clear that she had no business being in a relationship right now. She wanted a roll of duct tape to hold her together, not a partner. The audacity of her to ask for your Netflix password had me scoffing. You really dodged a bullet. She was still insisting that you were jealous, immature, and selfish. No wonder her marriage didn't last, and I bet everything that her ex was the one to ask for separation and later on divorce. Just from how she described him and the way he goes along with what she wants, leads me to believe that she pushed for him to do things he didn't want to do just to keep up images.